Welcome back to Hardcore Hotline, where things never seem to get any better. We're joined today by Danny Lomeli from Incendiary, which is a band. Hi, Danny, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Oh, we are just here in this universe, just excited to have the time to talk to you of all people.
Little old
And
me.
yeah, are you so excited to be here?
I love interviews, so I'm very excited to be interviewed.
Good, good.
Yeah.
We're so good at interviewing. And yesterday, Incendiary was announced to play at Furnace Fest, the knee brace capital of the hardcore world. How did that all come together?
um. Well, let's see. I think what happened was we just eventually got asked. Um. The last 2 years, I think that it was back. There had been some scheduling conflicts, maybe with one of the years where we couldn't do it, and then another year, I just think we just weren't on the docket for to get tickets to the big dance. But
Mhm, mhm.
here we are, and we're excited to come on down.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It seems like people were happy to see you guys play, which was weird because hardcore people are never happy.
Usually not, and we're a bunch of old men too, so it's just like weird to think that there's a bunch of youngsters happy to see old men. So that's cool too.
Yeah, yeah. That's Furnace Fest is definitely full of the young people. It's definitely young people as far as the eye can see, honestly. And have you ever been to Furnace Fest before? We know that it was in the early 2000s as well.
No, no, not with any other band that I had been in. Haven't had the chance to go.
Oh, so you just don't like Furnace Fest?
Um, yeah, it's I knew the name from the early 2000s. I just wasn't sure what it was like all about. I knew it was one of the fests of the early 2000s. Being from New York, the Northeast region, it was more like Hellfest. Was more of the fest that I was aware of,
Mm.
and like attended, but not so. I didn't really travel a whole lot for fests in my younger days.
Okay, yeah, we that's not very normal, but I guess when you live in New York, most things come to you as opposed to like hardcore kids who live in Nebraska. If they
Yeah.
exist, there's nothing for them there, so they have to leave their homes probably
Yeah, I
on
think
horseback.
all three of them probably go together a lot to stuff.
Yeah, yeah, definitely gotta hitch that wagon. Yeah,
Hmm.
make sure. With Oregon Trail.
Yeah.
And and you're also headlining Overcome Fest in North
Hmm.
Carolina.
We
And
are.
you said you haven't been back in 9 years. What
Yeah.
grudge have you been holding against North Carolina for nine
um,
years?
for 9 years. I don't think it's personal. I think it's just that we as a band have never been able to do a lot of touring.
Hmm.
We have like jobs outside of the band, so we don't get to tour like a regular band does.
Hmm.
So we just go to places whenever we have the availability to, and I guess the Carolinas hadn't really been ringing the line too much, or if they did, we just didn't have the time or the availability or the routing to get there. So um, I hope they welcome us back with open arms and they're not too angry at us.
I feel like the South is pretty good at being petty, so I might watch your back a little bit,
Okay.
maybe. Yeah,
Well, we'll
definitely.
we'll have a rental car, so we'll blend in a
Okay.
little bit. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
No New
yeah.
York plates because we don't want to get targeted or anything like that.
No, no. In fact, from what we understand, the Carolinians, if they see a New York plate, um, they will they will drive you up until that Virginia line and say, "Don't come back here."
They call
Usually
that
they'll have,
the
yeah.
the Carolina escort.
Yeah, yeah,
Just
it
get you
is. They
right out.
they they have their giant gallons of sweet tea, Bojangles biscuits, crumbs everywhere, and
Mm.
it's a very, they mean business.
It sounds intimidating.
It is, but it's fine. It's just part of the culture. Yeah, yeah.
We love it.
Of course, of course. So like you said, your band, it doesn't really tour a whole lot. You guys just kind of like show up.
Mhm.
Um, what do you do with all of the comments on your social media that ask you to play a place that is not like remotely close to where your actual shows are? Say maybe Brazil.
Brazil, yeah, come to
Yeah.
Brazil is like
Hmm.
the running punchline, the running
Hmm.
gag.
Yeah.
I mean, we certainly would love to get to all of these places eventually. Um, but we usually just say, cool, thanks, stuff like that. Just appreciate the call, the desire for us to be in these far off lands. Um, and we if we can fit it into the schedule, we will. Unfortunately, it doesn't really happen too often.
Okay. So you're basically just like patronizing them in the comments.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to say like no, it's never going to happen because
Right. Yeah. Okay, so you're just lying to them then.
yeah, kind of like
Okay.
stringing them along, false hope kind of thing. Like,
Yeah.
because you don't want to say no and then close the door, and then we show up in Brazil one day, and then everyone's like, "Hey, what's going on?" So we always just kind of like to leave it open ended. Kind of like
Mhm.
ghosting or leaving a whole country or a state on red
Yeah.
for a little bit.
Yeah, 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 that's a good tactic.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure that they very much enjoy that. And so we just said that you don't really tour, but now we're saying that you do because you're playing some shows in Europe. Is that right?
Yes. Hmm.
Okay. Okay. Why do hardcore bands always go to Europe in the summer? Like what's going on over there besides being able to like put on Instagram, I'm in Europe and you're not to all of your friends?
Right. Well, I mean, number one is like free travel to a
Okay.
fun place.
Hmm.
So, I mean, seeing America so many times, oh, great, California again. But
California again.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
But Europe is just like something special, and like you said, it's something to write home about.
Hmm.
There's also like 1.5 million festivals that happen like all almost consecutively
Okay.
in Europe in the summer,
Hmm.
so it's easy to travel from country to country, playing these larger concerts and I guess seem more important than we are.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely much more important than you actually are. Um, so if anyone is thinking about going to a festival in Europe for the summer, which one would you suggest?
Um, I would say probably Jera. Jera, it's going to be our second year playing Jera on air in the Netherlands. We played it, I believe, last year or the year before. Might have been the year before. It's so tough to remember with not
So
touring.
tough to.
Like so many, been to Europe so many times now.
Ugh, I know. Who
Who
can
could
keep
keep
count?
track? But yeah, Jera. Last time we played it was great. We had Unfortunately, it was like a long overnight drive to get there, and then we like played almost right away when we got there. We were very tired, so didn't have a
Okay.
lot of time to take in the sights and the sounds as much as we would have liked to.
Hmm.
But I think we have a little bit of a better time slot this time.
Okay.
Hopefully, we'll play a little bit later in the afternoon. So I would say Jera or Outbreak. Outbreak in Manchester this year.
Hmm.
The last time we played that was a phenomenal show. Had a great time, and it's looks like it's lining up to be just as great this year.
Now we just have to ask because you did say hopefully you would play later in the afternoon. What time does Jira start? Like 9 in the morning or
I
something?
think
What is going on over there?
first band 10:30. Well,
10:30.
a lot of these Eurofests like right,
Wow.
like bacon and eggs, with your mosh.
Opening the pit at 10:30 in the morning. That brings us back to our asphalt driven days at Warp Tour.
Mm-hmm.
So
I was gonna say,
dehydrated.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
not enough water for anybody.
No, no, not enough water at all, not at all. So, Dinosaur Incendiary had an album out last year
Mhm.
called Change the Way You Think About Pain. And we hope when you leave here, you think of pain as this interview. But before that, you hadn't had an album out since like 2017. Isn't it easier and better to not put out new music since the hardcore community doesn't listen to anything past 2009?
Yeah, I mean, we figured we had a good thing going with the songs that we had. So why rock the boat? Just keep playing that stuff that everybody likes until people get annoyed with us.
Uh-huh.
And that didn't happen. And then I
Okay.
think we just got annoyed with ourselves and
Yeah,
decided to
yeah.
put out new music. It's always a fun and interesting endeavor. Because this could be the one that sucks.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
this one it could be. We won't comment on
the
that, but
jury's still out.
yeah, 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 yeah. And what distinguishes this album from the old album? Or is it just kind of the same songs? You just added a little bit of different lyrics to it.
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
Okay, yeah, that's what we thought.
Yeah, I mean, it's our fourth full length, which is uncharted territory for a lot of hardcore bands because they mostly break up or
Yeah.
get canceled
Yeah, yeah.
before they get.
We're waiting for you guys to do one or the other. We can't wait to see what
Yeah.
happens.
No comment. But yeah, fourth LP is usually uncharted waters for a hardcore band.
Mhm,
But we've been a band for a very long time, over 15 years at this point.
mhm.
So we try to have a decent pace, but we never really felt the need to put out a record every year, every 2 years. Um, as is the fare du jour for most hardcore bands. We just like to take our time and make them wait.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They just waiting for so long. I'm sure they were just like, oh, if only there was new music that we could
Mm.
definitely learn the words to and sing along to at the next
Or
show so
yeah,
that everyone knows that we listen to hardcore.
and now you could get the lyrics on all of your musical streaming services, so there's really no excuse not to know the lyrics when you jump up on top of everybody and grab the microphone. um, just a point of order for the listeners out there. Just make sure you know the words before you do that.
Yeah, yeah. We don't know a single word to any of our favorite songs, so we try and stay far away from the stage.
Mm.
We don't want a moment where they put it up to us and we just go, Wake the Dead? Is that
Deer in
this
headlights.
one?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll make sure to pass that along. Make sure that you know the lyrics
Yeah,
if
I
you're going
mean,
to be
hey,
close to stage.
I shouldn't be pointing fingers. I play in the band and I barely know the lyrics to the songs because I
Yeah,
play
yeah,
drums.
yeah.
I know the ones that I listen for when I have to play along to stuff. But I mean, I really don't know the lyrics to a lot of our songs.
Yeah, it's loud back there anyway. There's a
Yeah,
lot
yeah.
going on. No
The
one can
singer's up
really see
front. I'm
you.
in the back.
Yeah.
What do
Yeah.
I care?
Right. You can do whatever you want really back there.
I'm
No
usually
one's
thinking
going to
about other
notice.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Now, you did say bands they break up or they get canceled. Obviously, you're not going to say a real reason why you would get canceled, but
Mhm.
in the perfect world, which is a weird way to say this, why would your band be canceled?
um, I don't know. We used to drink too much. You know, um, that would probably be about it. I mean, for the most part, we were just like 9 to 5 working bozos who decided to play heavy music one day, and
Okay. So you guys are
so
posers. Oh, that's why.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, we're not. I mean, we're from Long Island, so we all have rich parents.
Yeah. Mm.
So we don't
Superposers.
know about the struggle.
You
It's
don't.
nah. I mean, my
Ugh.
struggle is like, which car am I taking to school?
I.
Who's picking me up? Do
Mhm.
I have to walk home? That was my struggle. Unfortunately, I
Absolutely.
don't write the lyrics, so I can't
Hmm.
write songs about that kind of thing. Um, but yeah, yeah, yeah. So we weren't like madmen or crazy guys or anything like that, selling drugs or killing people or anything like that in the streets of New York City. Like people might think that we were. But yeah, so I think just, maybe getting drunk and passing out at inappropriate times would be, I don't know, is that a cancelable offense? I don't know if that's
Mm,
like on the list of charges. Is that just like probation, cancellation probation?
yeah, yeah. We'll put a poll up, and at least
Okay.
four people will answer it,
Okay.
telling us why you should be canceled. We'll let you know.
Okay.
So I think we'll get a really good pool there.
Cool.
So, speaking of your lyrics and songs and things like that, on
Uh-oh.
that album from
Hmm.
a long time ago, that people probably still listen to over your new one, you had a song, well, not you, but your band
Hmm.
had a song called The Product Is You. Now, we don't
Hmm.
really care about the lyrics of that. We want to know instead, if you were a product, what would you be and why?
Oh, I was a product. I think I would be like seasoning for food. I think, yeah, that if I was going to be a product, I would be seasoning for food because, I like to add flavor to my environment, to the things that I do, whether it be, a social gathering or a band that I'm in, because I've played in a lot of bands over my life and currently play in about five or six. Um, and I think I like to, I add a little fun, little salsa picante to things. So I think I would be like a jar of very delicious seasoning.
Okay, all right. You heard it here first. He's a jar of seasoning. And you said that you play in multiple bands. Do you think that you play in so many bands because you're talented or because you're one of the only drummers in Long Island?
Well, there's actually like only three drummers on Long Island, and all of
Yeah.
us play in a lot of bands.
Okay.
That's like the way it goes.
Yeah.
Um, uh, I I used to say yes to a whole lot more bands, but then I got married and had a kid, so
Mm,
I have a lot less free time to say yes to things that I want to. But I have Incendiary as my main
mhm.
woman, and then I have a couple of side piece bands that it's part time. I mean, Incendiary is far from a full-time band, so.
Right, right, right. Have you thought about teaching the child to play drums so that for any projects that you can't do, you can send out a proxy drummer?
As great as that would be, I would like for him to be successful in life. So
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
probably not gonna push him to be a musician. Probably like
Yeah.
a CPA or computer programming and accountant, like something that's actually useful.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
and that he
That's
could like support a family on and buy a house and stuff like that. Like,
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
even if that's even possible by the time he grows up,
No, no,
it's
not
probably
not in
not.
this.
Yeah, no,
No,
no.
but you can dream. You
Yeah, I
can
know
you can
Long
hope and
Island's on the
dream.
fast track to be a renter's prison, so yeah,
Hmm.
we're all screwed.
Yeah. Well, and that's on good parenting.
Yeah,
Not so good at bands, but pretty good at parenting.
yeah, I
So
try.
you have Europe, you have Overcome Fest, you have
Hmm.
Furnace Fest. What else does Incendiary have going on this year?
We are in the works of planning a New York show, or probably for late summer, early fall. Um, you know what? I'm gonna have to look at my calendar. I do play drums, so I don't remember all of these things. Um,
Understood.
it's just so much to remember. What else do we have? Oh, we have big thing. The Sick New World Fest in Las Vegas, Nevada. Not to be confused with Las Vegas, Florida. Two different places. Um, and so that's going to be great. Every new metal band that has ever existed is going to be playing, and us. I guess we're a new metal band. So
You're
my
a
dream
new
has come
metal band
true.
now.
Yeah, yeah.
Time to get those jinkos.
Bust them out of storage. I got a couple left over. I preferred UFOs over Jenkos. I did have
Okay.
Jenkos, but I was more of a UFOs guy when those were when those were hot in the streets.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
but yeah, Sick New World Fest. I've never been to Las Vegas before, so this will be a fun first time. And then the day after, we're playing with Kubla Khan and Lamb of God at the House of Blues in Las Vegas, which is quite a prestigious affair.
That that is a ticket. That is a lineup.
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
top to bottom ass beater.
Wow, people will die there.
Unfortunately, but you know what? It's just collateral damage. It's
Yeah.
a casualty of the core, as we like to say.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm sure that they're fine with it.
Yeah.
Very
Condolences to the
good.
families, but hey, someone's got to rock.
Someone someone has to. So, is there anything else that you would like our gigantic fan base to know before we wrap things up?
Yeah, as we said earlier, even though there are a lot of people asking us to come to all these different places, far off exotic lands like Denver, Colorado, um, Phoenix, Arizona, etc.,
Phoenix.
places we've never been, we would love to get to them all, and hopefully over the next couple of years we could work that into our not very busy schedule, and we could get off our asses and make our way to Arizona one day. So just disregard what I said earlier, and we'll be there soon.
Okay, well, you heard Dolphin. You can definitely count on them coming to wherever you want them to play at some point. He definitely didn't lie about that earlier.
No,
So
not at all.
perfect. Absolutely. It did not lie. So thanks again to Danny Lomeli from Incendiary. You can catch him and maybe the rest of his band in various places this year. You might die in some of them, but that's the price you pay. And you can listen to any of their albums, even the old ones, wherever you stream music. They probably even have some colorful vinyls for you to buy. And we'll see you next time.